Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4. This is with the Black Ice mod, and for those of you who don't know what Black Ice is, this was basically the mod you had to play Hearts of Iron 3 with. So Hearts of Iron 3 Vanilla was, it was alright. Bring in Black Ice and everything was just ramped up massively in terms of realism. And Black Ice for Hearts of Iron 4 has been in development for quite a while. I believe it's now been playable for quite a while, but because of the absolutely ridiculous scope of Black Ice and what Black Ice usually does, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this one time. I'm going to let this percolate a little bit before I dive in, because Black Ice for Hearts of Iron 3 was phenomenal. It basically adds entirely new vents. It makes things a lot more historical in terms of equipment usage, development of equipment, advances, attacks, stuff like that. An operation like Barbarossa feels truly epic in scale, because it was. So that is what we're going to go with. We're going to do a single player game. Now, I haven't tried any of this. This is me coming in completely blind. So taking what I know from the Hearts of Iron 3 version, it is generally best to play as Germany, because everything else kind of centers around Germany, and you kind of need to play as Germany to understand what the hell is going on. I mean, it's historical. There's only so much which is different, but it's more from like gameplay mechanics and things like that, which are probably going to be balanced around Germany. A new Germany has risen. 3 years have passed since the Weimar Republic was dismantled and replaced by Hitler's Third Reich. Economic stability has returned after the trying years of the Great Depression, and mass unemployment have been dealt with. The military restrictions imposed upon Germany by the Versailles Treaty are long forgotten, and the Wehrmacht grows stronger by the day. Another Weltkrieg is on the horizon. So we start with Bitter Loser, Ideology, Drift Defense, and Opposition Party support. General Staff gives us organisation and planning speed, and then we also have the MIFO bills. OI3 is much more detailed than 4 Black Ice, makes it massively more historical and realistic and detailed, or the art history stuff basically gets stripped out. Yes. So don't expect any Kaiserreich Germany here, for example. Not going to happen. El Mordred, hail the Grand Regent Admiral. Oh, yeah! Before we get properly started on this, that was an amazing post by the Hearts of Iron Community Ambassador, aka Midge, the other day, which I think should definitely be shared with you, because I would appreciate your input. Yes, input. That's the word we'll go with. So I'm going to copy a link to that tweet, and you should definitely go and check that tweet out, because it's brilliant. And then also the tweet just below it. You should definitely take a look at that tweet just below the main tweet that I just posted there. And remember, there's only one way to vote. Vote for the triumph in Japan, and not the disaster in Germany. Right, those are just focus-related things, so I will cover those later. Let's take a look. I'm just going to leave everything on. Historical is going to be on recommended. We're playing on regular difficulty. Oh, I like the new colours. UI looks fancy. Oh, is it a timed poll? Oh, we definitely need to get our stuff in. Does Black Ice do interesting things beyond Germany like France and the Netherlands? I have no idea, Buildmaster. This is the first time I'm loading this. You know as much about this as I do, except I probably know a bit more because of Hearts of Iron 3. And that's already failed to load, so let's reload the game. Yay, UI issues. Come on. Come on, launcher. You can do it. You can do it, launcher. Come on. Oh, come on! God damn it. There we go. Now, the last couple of times I tried to load Hearts of Iron in the launcher, it just flat out refused to load. So we'll see if that's still a problem. No, it seems to be doing something. Okay, here we go. Huzzah! Ah, democracy. The only issue is I can't seem to spend my points for a more democratic vote. Mystery Potato coming in with a 14-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Mystery Potato. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. And Fabian Depp wants me to drink some tea. I think I can do that. Whoops. What I meant to do was that. Okay. Single player. New game. Germany. Select. Start. The map is different in Asia. We'll take a look in a minute. Well, Italy's a different colour. In fact, everyone's slightly lighter colours. Black Ice, here we go. We've got the GFX mod installed. Test version gets stuff updated more frequently with new stuff. I did not go with the test version. I'm going with the regular version because I'm hoping it's more stable for streaming purposes. Join the Discord. 3D models. We added 311 plane models for all majors. Each aircraft has propeller animation, historical amounts of machine guns and different bomb loads. Strap bombers and others have big bombs. We've increased the number of air scenes from 2 to 5, so now the sky is filled with planes to show true air combat. Historical ship designs. For those who wish to use historical ships in their games, the historical ship designer allows you to easily select which class and which model to use. The UI is accessible by clicking on the golden ship icon to the top right of the production screen. With a simple click of a button, you can now design. A new design will be available to you in the ship designer. You're able to modify this design as you see fit, just like with any other design you have. In order to acquire the design, you must fulfill all of the technology requirements in the tooltip you wish to build, as well as the naval XP. Civilian fuel has been changed from the passive fuel reduction to an active one. The fuel need per state is determined based on population and IC, which then gets used up from the stockpile. This is enabled for major AIs as well to encourage trade. We have done some extensive optimization to most performance demanding code to heavily optimize the increase in speed. Results may vary. Ton of balance done to land, most notable example being armor being majorly buffed in terms of cost effectiveness. And there are a bunch of new things being added, which are assault, infantry, small ships, Soviets, China, Romania, England and France, 3D models for land and naval units, performance and AI, and then industry rework. Performance options, I'm just going to leave all of that as normal, and then there is nothing in the settings. Cool. So the first thing you will see is unit counters. You need to learn the actual NATO unit counters. But before we get to the unit counters, I need to get rid of this bloody frog in my throat. That's unpleasant. So for those of you who don't have a clue what on earth a NATO unit counter is, it's these icons. Each of these icons will have a different meaning. So the X, like that, is an infantry division. The little X's above it is what size unit it is or what command it is. Those ones I don't remember exactly. I think that means division. 3X is like an army, 4X is an army group, 5X is a theatre, something like that. It's the size of the headquarters, basically. I'm guessing the brown X is probably militia. Then we've got Gs, which is garrison units. We've got... Huh. That's anti-tank? I think? No, it's Mountaineers. Gebirgsbrigade. So the triangle at the base of the X is mountains. That's tank support. Okay, so the square with a ellipse inside it is a light tank. If it has a thin border on one side, it's a medium tank, and if it has a double border or a thick border, it is a heavy tank. So this is probably... yeah, light tank division. Man, I remember these things. Heck yeah! So light tank division there, light tank division there. The other icon is probably their support type. Though I could not tell you that for sure. Because their templates are the same despite the colours being different. Oh, they even have mechanized. in 1936. Nice. And then we also have another garrison unit, which apparently doesn't have the garrison proper iconography. Don't know why that is. Might be a bug. The thing that I really wanted to see was their technology tree, because as you can see, we already have a lot of different technologies. There are technologies split by purpose. Now, this is something I kind of hope to see in base game at some point. Alright, this is cool. So the top two you can use for anything. The next one looks to be for infantry, support and artillery. The one after that is purely for tank and armour. Next one is naval and naval technologies, and then the final one is aircraft only. So you are limited in what technologies you can have going. You can't have 5 technologies all researching different things of tanks. Oh, no. This forces you to spread out a little bit. And different nations may well have a different set of technologies that they can research. And in fact, judging by the name, I wonder if this is done by like research center. So there is a research center in Brandenburg which allows air research. Possibly, I don't know. Then if we click on this, we can see what technologies are available. So, tech tree, a little bit bigger. They've definitely extended it somewhat to allow for some more things. Even down to like uniforms. Mortars, specialists, mountain warfare, amphibious warfare, paratroopers, jungle warfare, amphibious tanks. Then we got support companies, so support equipment, recon equipment. There's specific recon equipment now, outside of just support, which is for more like engineers. Then we've got different staff cars and motorized. And then artillery, including transportation types. And also railway artillery. Heck yeah, railway artillery. Alright. Oops. And then we got tanks. So armoured cars, tankettes, light vehicles. Ah, that's where these are. Okay, so the vehicles that you have here is probably related to what you've researched here, I would imagine. So those are the little light armour type units. Then we've got armour technologies, which will change the way that your units work. So you've got gasoline versus diesel. And then the different types of tank. Oh no, sorry, these are the different chassis? I'm not sure what AVR means. I would have assumed that was like average tank. No, armor recovery. Okay, so that's probably a maintenance company for tank divisions. Then we've got different tank types. Now I believe that each nation has their own tech tree. At least the majors will. So for example, we have access to Czech tanks. And that's because Germany made really heavy use of Czech tanks after they conquered Czechoslovakia. Because the Czechs had some really, really good tank technology. And the Germans was like, yep, that's ours now. And a lot of the basis for like the German tank tech was actually based on Czech. And there you go, you can see all the different types of tanks here as well. Leading all the way down to the mouse. Panthers, Panzer, Tigers. Then we got Great War Doctrines, which I'm guessing some of the minor nations would need to start actually researching. So you got infantry, artillery, mobile, battlefield support, and early air. And you got Second World War Doctrines. Oh jeez, there's a lot of them. So you got mobile warfare, superior firepower, methodical battle, mass assault, assault, asymmetric warfare, special forces, regimental doctrines, operational support, attritional containment, elastic defense, prepared defense, and defense in depth. So you have an offensive doctrine, which is mobile warfare, superior firepower, methodical, and mass assault and assault. Possibly asymmetric. Then you have the defensive ones, which are defense in depth, prepared, elastic, and attritional containment. And then operational support and regimental doctrines is basically how you can upgrade your divisions. Oh, your division experience while training. Okay. Leader skill bonuses. Ooh. Okay, then we got Naval Technologies, which has engine split away from hulls, which is a change I do like. Torpedoes of various designations and classifications, fire control, armaments, AA, small caliber guns, medium caliber, heavy caliber. That's a lot of different heavy calibers and variants thereof. Radar, damage control, fire control, mines. Radar doesn't start until all the way down here. That's 38. Okay. Then we got Naval Technology, submarines, destroyers, cruisers, battleships, carriers. So no huge changes there. They did say that the naval rework wasn't done yet. And then we got the Kriegsmarine Doctrines. So this is specific to Germany. So we start with capital cruiser, mine, more or less completed. Destroyer Doctrine, still in the works. Convoy Doctrine, Submarine Doctrine, still in the works. And then we have Fleet Doctrine, Decisive Battle, Fleeting Being, or Trade Interdiction. So I think Decisive Battle is just capital ships. Fleeting Being is probably the most mixed, and then Trade Interdiction's obviously blowing up the other transports. And then we've got Carrier Warfare Doctrine as well, which is a bit more in depth than some of the other stuff. We've got the Luftwaffe Technologies, which gives us the different classifications of aircraft. I can feel my brain already starting to melt a little bit. Well, I did say that Black Ice is all about depth, and it looks like they've delivered. There's a new type of plane every year, and they take a year to reach. Oh no, they don't. They're actually a bit quicker than that. Luftwaffe Doctrine, Strategic Destruction, Battlefield Destruction, Operational Integrity. So just the three usuals. Engineering and Advanced Technology. So this is where radios come in. Then we've got Consumer Goods, which increases political power. Oh, now that's interesting. And then also mechanical computing, that's the computing line, which also gives encryption and decryption. Oh, that's a good change. They've split encryption and cryptology into the tech tree rather than the agency tree. I think that's a really good change, because I've found since they moved these into here, I have not researched these once. Not once. Just haven't bothered. I much prefer having my civilian factories, you know, building stuff than being used on agency things. Experimental rockets, and then jets and jet aircraft. Oh, there's more! But wait, there's more! It's just atomic research. Then we've got industrial technology, we've got tool making, which is upkeep reduction. Okay, that's new. Lack of resource penalty. That's cool. That's a very Germany type deal right there. Population growth, stability growth, chance to get sick reduction. I guess that's for the generals. Concentrated industry versus dispersed. Oh, and concentrated, they actually make more vulnerable. Oh, that's a good change as well. That's a really good change. That just kind of encourages the difference between concentrated and dispersed for that. And then we have the different types of workshops. So you need to have small arms workshops to dedicate those factories to small arms production. You can see max small arms equipment factory +5. So you need to do these technologies if you really want to start concentrating your industry in any particular direction. And then you need to have completed concentrated industry 3 or dispersed industry 3 to get like the centralized one. I don't know if that requires you to have like completed all of the ones in that tree. And then over here we have infrastructure. So there's the construction tech. Oh, the more construction tech you get, the slower you get at building military factories and dockyards. And then you've got the industry tax, which increases supply, also allows you to get cheaper synthetic refineries and rubber refineries. They've split synthetic fuel and rubber, which I think is a good change. Schools, hospitals, housing. These are again going to be more for small nations. Although actually we have fort construction and anti-air construction, so I would imagine air defense initiative probably already done by Britain, for example. Excavation, max resource storage output. Civilian fuel consumption, so civilian factories now consume fuel, which is what they were talking about, creating demand for fuel. So at the moment, where's fuel there? 5 years. Oh, and they actually show the raw materials. Oh, because it's a stockpile. They've changed that back to Hearts of Iron 3. Okay, that's a good change too. Nice. Technologies still do mostly go down to 1945. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do before 1945. So I somewhat doubt we're going to be like seeing the end of the tech tree anytime soon. Which is kind of a problem that I have with Hoth 4. Is I very often do catch the end of the tech tree. Huzzah! At least the end of anything interesting that I want to do particularly. So, any questions so far? I am sorry, chat. I have not been ignoring you, but also I've been ignoring you. Let's see. Where did I see from last? I think it was from about here. Would I ever consider the newest top downloaded mod, the Star Wars mod about the Clone Wars? Yeah, so the thing that I've kind of started doing with mods is waiting until they're more complete. That's one of the reasons that I haven't done Black Ice until now, is because I wanted it to be more complete before I covered it. Because I just don't have the time to like go half-cocked into a mod, play it for like a session, then just drop it. Especially if I really like it. I'd rather wait till it was done. And that's similar to what I did with an Ambernar. Like, Ambernar's been on my radar for 3 or 4 years at this point, but it never looked complete enough for me to really cover. So, generally when it comes to mods, I want to wait until they're more done, more mature. Oh, the other icon on the units is their division icon. Okay, that's not going to be confusing. Which would, I guess, explain why the 2 tank divisions have it. Could have sworn in Black Ice previously they just had the divisions named. Like, this was the Ghost Division. Or maybe they get named based on what they do in the game, because I know that a lot of this stuff is event-driven. Love the idea of the tech tree in this, but the mod's a bit much. I mean, yeah, it is going to be a bit much. Yeah. Not much more I can say about that than, yeah. This is harkening back to Hearts of Iron 3. One of these days I will need to cover Hoy 3, just to show you the differences. Like, there are some things which Hearts of Iron 3 do better than Hearts of Iron 4, and like one of them, I have to say, is the order of battle. That is having... what are they called? Theatres, army groups, armies, divisions, battalions? I think it goes all the way through that, rather than just army groups and armies, which is Hearts of Iron 4. And you would have officers for each of these levels as well, and you can promote or demote within that structure at will. I really liked the flexibility, because then you can really like customize how your army fights based on which officers you promote to which positions. German army wasn't totally mechanical or motorized in 1944. Their supply was done by horses. Yeah, it's actually astonishing just how many horses were employed during World War II. Way more than you would think. The only ones that were really mechanized, I would say, was the USA. Like, the Soviets certainly weren't, the British certainly weren't. Germany 100% wasn't. Despite their image. Like, with Germany, it was their frontline units which were mechanized. So everyone had the impression that all of Germany's units were mechanized. When actually, the stuff behind the lines, heck no. That was all horse-drawn. Oh, interesting. Bergpanzer in this case isn't mountain tank, but it comes from Bergen to recover. Okay. Oh god, and I thought the vanilla Hearts of Iron 4 Naval Tech tree was a bit much. Grasswing, coming in with a 16-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Grasswing. Very much appreciate that. How are you doing? Czech tanks in German use were known as the 35T and 38T. The T stands for Czechish, i.e. Czech. That makes sense. What's this mod all about? Yeah, realism and detail. Big emphasis on detail. All-Powerful Sadist coming in with a 22-month primary sub. Thank you very much for that, All-Powerful Sadist. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. Time to unveil the focus trees. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Mordred still having PTSD from the Britain game in TNO. That playthrough, I've got to say, really put me off of TNO. Like, the mod as a whole is decent, but that just really put me off. Kemerovo, however, reigned supreme. Also, the Iberian Union wasn't that much fun. Army of the United States, World War II, Theatre, Army Group, Army Corps. Right, I forgot the Corps level. Then Division. So it was definitely 5 levels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it went down to Division. So in Hearts of Iron 4, it's basically Army and Division. In Hearts of Iron 3, it was Theatre, Army Group, Army Corps Division. And then within the divisions, you had the brigades and regiments, or brigades and battalions, or brigades and companies. Companies were the support companies, hence, you know, support company, and then brigade was the individual pieces, which are these guys. These are brigades. Oh no, these are regiments. So a battalion is the entire line. No, regiment's the entire line, and then the individual bits, the battalion. Yes, I was right. So this line is a regiment, and then this guy is a battalion. And then these are companies. You actually have headquarters now. Huh. I wondered how they were doing their headquarters, because headquarters were basically a separate unit in Hearts of Iron 3, and they were a big deal. Because the further away you were from the headquarters, basically the less efficient your units were because of communication times. But if you had your headquarters too close to the front line, there was a risk that they would get overrun, you'd lose the officer. And Raiden Aiden, thank you very much for the 14-month resubscription. Very much appreciate that. And I'm getting your name right now. Now that I've seen it written in Conqueror's Blade, and it is clearly Raiden Aiden, I will probably get it right this one time. Krumel Monster, Albanian Madman, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. And then Mar wants me to drink some tea as well. I think that can be arranged. British Army was pretty much fully motorised by 43-44 thanks to the American Lend-Lease. But only the British, the Indian Army, India-Burma were not. The Australians, New Zealanders and Europe were, but not New Guinea and some of their units in their home countries. I think you still have to change to native symbols in the settings to get all the mod symbols. I don't know why I'm doing a save right now.